All right, happy Sunday afternoon, everybody. Hope your weekend is going well. Everybody rebounded from last night. That was a kick in the gut. Tonight, though, Diamond Talk, looking at Texas Tech baseball, getting a great start by Zane Petty. And it was much like last night's basketball game. Things were really good until they went really bad. We'll recap it all. Kansas State gets the series sweep. This is Diamond Talk coming to you from the Raiderland worldwide headquarters today. Everybody get in, whether you're on YouTube, Twitter, doesn't matter, our Facebook Live page, wherever you may be. We're glad you're there. And all the communication, so you get in thanks to United Supermarkets and Market Street, the official supermarket chain for obviously Texas Tech Athletics and Raiderland, right here with you guys. All right, let's make it happen today. Looking forward to your comments, thoughts, and some baseball talk after a whole lot of basketball over the last couple of weeks. In three, in two. Good evening, West Texans, all you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. I'm Ryan High, theraiderland.com, the website. Everything we do, we archive it there for you. Our 5 things we know on a Sunday column is there for you. Not 3 things. That's too few. Not 6 or 7. That would be right out. No, the counting shall be to 5. The columns there, we always appreciate you guys checking it out and giving some feedback. Post your own comments and share it with some friends. Brought to you today by McAlpin Chiropractic, the official chiropractor of Raiderland. He's worked with high-level Texas Tech athletes for decades. He's just a good old West Texas guy. If you're looking to feel good, you need to call Kevin McAlpin here in the Hubaplex. And if you're looking to buy or sell a home, the realtor of Raiderland is Kyle Rogers, our man at Remax. Check out his great Facebook page for Kyle Rogers Remax. Latest listings, buying or selling, he can make it happen. He's good people and a pretty good golfer, too. All right. Hold on. Marketing going to get mad at me. I'm messing up the product placement. There we go. That's not bad. The old chug points in NASCAR post race and everything. So we have baseball to talk about. You have baseball to talk about. A frustrating season got a little bit more frustrating this weekend at Kansas State. It started with Mac Heuer not able to go Friday night. Lowe gets the start. He can't get out of the second inning, and you punt. Yesterday, you just couldn't do quite enough to win. Not a bad loss by any stretch of the imagination. Today, however, Zane Petty takes the ball. He gives you courage. He's weaving in and out of danger. He's getting out of innings. He's doing everything you would want a pitcher to do on a Sunday. He's pitching effectively. He scattered around 4 walks and a couple of hits. He gave up 1 run. It was earned, but he didn't give it up. It came off the home run that Trendon Parrish came on, giving in relief. But Trendon Parrish, he shuts it down after that. 2 2/3 inning. He gets tagged late with the 4 earned runs, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, and all of that comes in the 9th. And that's really where we get to today, that you take a 4-2 lead to the 9th. You can't get anybody out. Trendon Parrish can't get out of the inning. Zach Crotchfeld comes on, gives up a bases loaded, no out single, game over, 5-4, it's done. And none of it seemed surprising. None of it shocked you today. None of it, I mean, when it happened, you're just going, yeah, that's about this Texas Tech season in a 15-minute time period. That you had played well. You'd played good baseball. You'd done things that you need to do to win a game. But when it came time to win the game, you couldn't win the game. You know? And the sad thing is that none of it was surprising. So we pose the question, what can you salvage right now? And this is sad because we're not in April yet. Most every other Tim Tadlock team, you go into April and you're finding answers to questions. The lineup is beginning to solidify. You're talking about NCAA seeding. You're just kind of sorting a few things out, maybe as you go through from a rotational standpoint, maybe a few roles to be defined. But I don't know. We said for a while, you keep having more questions than answers. I don't even know what the questions are at this point. So it really becomes, is it win the Big 12 postseason tournament or bust for Texas Tech? And I think as we go into April this week, April 1st, no fooling, Tech and OU and Frisco in non-conference play, that sounds weird, that the path to any at-large bid to the NCAA tournament for this team is no longer there after the last 2 weekends. That you've played 3 weekends of Big 12 play, and that path is not there. We talked at length about the early season schedule. It was challenging, but you needed to win a few games to make it work. Then the RPI, not good. You came into today after the first 2 losses, D1 baseball RPI at 71. I mean, it's not workable. It's just not workable. You sit there and, going into Big 12 play after the Houston series, and you're going, okay, there's a path right now after you get a sweep on the road to get to 32, 33 wins. That's an at-large bid. That's a 3 or a 4 seed. That path was there. I don't see that path now. What do you got? 29 games left. You basically got 3 or 4 games you could lose the rest of the regular season to be in that window. It's not there. So now the mentality of this team has to be, what can we get? How can we get it? What can we do? And really, it's all pointing to May 21st, 22nd, 23rd, and 24th in the new Big 12 tournament at Globe Life Field. That is single elimination. Top 4 teams get a bye. 12 teams get to go. It's single elimination. It's actually perfect for Tech or any other team that has to win it to get through it the way it's set up now. I'm looking for reasons to be more hopeful than to tell you this on May 29th, whatever it is, 30th, March 30th, May, March, whatever. I was doing my 90-day calendar up there. That's why I'm into May already. I wish I could give you something better tonight. Now the question also becomes why and what's going to happen now going forward. But the ninth inning meltdown dooms Texas Tech. You get swept. Your options are very limited. Questions, comments, get in. Thanks to United Supermarkets, Market Street here on a Sunday. And I know it's not everybody's just kind of recovering from basketball. Now you get baseball. It's a wet penguin, which is weird, kinky, and I don't want to know the story behind the name. Hi, this is just a bad baseball team. I held on thinking, well, if you can just get 1 you'll be 500 conference, still have hope, but that's gone. This team has talent, but they just can't play together. And that's part of being a team. Not sure what you can even salvage at this point. Postseason hopes are all but gone. I think one of the things that is gone right now that was critical for the rise of Tim Tadlock at Texas Tech and the rise of the program, getting to their first College World Series in 2014. Obviously, you missed the tournament in 15. Then you're back in 16, 17. Heartbreak against Sam Houston. 18, 19, you go back. 20, you're looking really good with the Jace Young and just a talented roster. COVID hits. And then, you come back in 21. You're in regionals, super regional against Stanford that you had some bad luck in, But what we're seeing right now, and a lot of people want to put the onus that Tim Tadlock hasn't embraced NIL or the transfer portal. And he may or may not have been a little late to the game on the portal, but he's been in it the last 2 years. They've gone after players. And I can assure you that they gave him the money necessary, and they had evaluated and went out and got guys that they felt could really play and really do that. So I think for the last 2 years that trope of, Tim Tadlock won't embrace, won't do it. Now, he may not like it. I don't know that he likes it, but they went out and tried to do it this year and really to an extent last year. What I think we are seeing, though, here in Lubbock, outside looking in, but one of the great strengths of Tim Tadlock's program is culture, is mental toughness, is identity, and it's culture transmitted from guys top down within the clubhouse. When you're changing everybody every year in that clubhouse, and you don't have hardly any 3-year players, let alone 4. 2-year players are getting harder and harder to find. That as the culture, as the clubhouse becomes like a truck stop with people in and out, There is no Tech baseball. There is no Tim Tadlock way. There is no, and we look at the mental toughness and the clutch and all the things we want to say. That isn't there. That you don't have time to create it. That all those pictures on the wall of Josh Young and Duggar and, Martin and all those guys that are in the big leagues right now and all that doesn't mean anything to these guys. Because nobody they know, well, now, it's been a couple of years, obviously, played with them, but there's no continuity. There's no connection. And that's what I think is the biggest thing affecting this program, not necessarily this team, this program right now, that I'm seeing this erosion of culture as people come and go. Is there any news on Perko? No. As you sit today, you're with your Saturday starters that you open the season with. Yeah. And we don't know where Mac Hewer is from a standpoint of, was that just a precautionary deal, or is there something really wrong, or did they, maybe they just wanted to make a change. Maybe they wanted to do something different and try not to, make it seem like, hey, we're shelving Mac Hewer. Yeah, so many different things. Glad you guys are with us on Twitter X at Ryan Hyatt Media. You guys can get in on our Facebook Live page and on our YouTube channel, Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland. Very close to 500 subscribers there. So if you've not subscribed, we hope you do. All communications comments on the transom taken care of by the good people at United Supermarkets and Market Street as we talk a little Tech baseball this afternoon. Smooth. Around the Big 12 today, let's see, UCF and Cincinnati goes final 10-7 Cincinnati. Oak State falls. Another disappointment, another big the Big 12 is down, make no mistake about it. Kansas gets them 11-2. Oklahoma State 1-6 in the league. They're top of the eighth now in Utah. Arizona State leading 11-4. Baylor and Arizona 11-6. Arizona over the Bears. And then, of course, you've got the old Red Raiders losing 5-4 today. So as we're sitting here right now waiting on some things to come through, you started the day with Kansas State at 7-1, Arizona State 6-2, Kansas 5-3, Arizona 5-3, West Virginia 4-3. Texas Tech will now be 4-5. 12 teams will go to the Big 12 tournament. Top 4 get a bye. It's single elimination. So, you look at the Big 12 playing teams and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Basically, you're going to have to beat out 2 teams to make sure you're in the tournament to have a chance to win the tournament. And if you told me one of those teams was probably going to be Oklahoma State, yeah, I'd be shocked. The Big 12 just has a baseball problem this year. 2, maybe 3 teams, depending on how it plays out from here. Kansas State, best RPI now at 19 going into today. It'll go up just a tick. Just a tick. So, you're just barely in the, hey, we might get to host a regional as a league. Arizona State up to 22 now, moving up 8 spots this week. Arizona at 25. And then you start to get into the Kansas 32, West Virginia 34, Baylor 36, TCU 38. And then there's a significant drop off before you get down to Texas Tech and UCF at 67. So you got a problem. That this league is not helping you out. This league is hurting you this year. You knew that going in. That's why you scheduled the way you did. You didn't get anything out of the schedule, and now you're not getting anything out of Big 12 play. So here we are. All right, get in your questions, comments, thoughts. We just wanted to jump on tonight, have a little bit of a conversation. We got a lot of stuff coming up this week. A huge Good, Bad, and Ugly Monday column in the morning at the Raiderland. Back on our fairly normal schedule. Fairly normal schedule right now. So 60 Seconds of Raiderland should be back with you this week as well. And then the daily broadcast tomorrow night We will have our Final Four and everything set on the NCAA tournament. And we'll be able to kind of take a deep breath and step back and go, hey, Tech spring football has been going on. Anybody know this? Anybody Tech spring football? Danny on Facebook. Are full conferences slumps kind of cyclical? Yeah. Yeah, I think this conference still has been hurt by losing Oklahoma and Texas for sure. You have teams coming in that have not placed a high value on baseball from a funding standpoint or otherwise. And then even the teams left, like Tech and Oklahoma State, TCU, that should be right up there at the top. Historically, Arizona State, Arizona, they're down. So I think it's just kind of a perfect storm. I don't think it's anything other than now you've got about half the conference that just has never really invested much in baseball, facility, recruiting, you name it, all that stuff. The half of the conference that has, they're down. They're not good. Mark getting in on the YouTube channel. By the way, everybody on YouTube, give us thumbs up, share it, invite people in. Let's get over that 500 subscriber mark. That's big. That helps the algorithm. Already waiting 5 months for football. We still got stuff. We got softball. Obviously, that's going to be good. We're going to do softball talk, maybe in shelf diamond talk, and just do softball. I'm trying to learn softball now. Obviously, got track. You got golf. So there's plenty of stuff going on, and most of it's actually really pretty good for spring sports and Tech, not to mention Texas Tech track and field. So we'll get there. And baseball is going to be interesting one way or the other. I was telling one of the local media members earlier today that when you cover stuff, the worst thing is average. Nobody cares about average. People love great teams or they love really horrible, frustrating teams because it gives them something to talk about. Well, Tech baseball right now, the horrible, frustrating baseball part. I'm sure football guy loves it when baseball slumps. I don't think so. I hope not. I would hope that football guy doesn't like that. I would think football guy would be the one who'd be on here banging, I got to get rid of Tim Tadlock. He don't know what he's doing. Whole team, program's an embarrassment. Just a dump of a program. That's football guy. Football guy would be angry. I don't think football guy loves it when baseball slumps. Football guy's still mad at basketball. Football guy still thinks that the missed free throws totally 100% cost the game when you only scored like 4 points in the last 3 minutes of the game. 3 of their players outscored you from the field. They let you get baskets there at the end. Oh, well, don't get me started. That thing yesterday. And you see this sometimes in the NCAA tournament because of the nature of the tournament, that you'll have the highest of highs, and then 2 days later, you'll have the lowest of lows. That you win a game like Tech did against Arkansas, and then 2 days later, you're Arkansas. And you're on this whipsaw of emotion, and you just had one of the greatest games in program history, followed up by one of the most agonizing, frustrating games in program history that, other than the loss to Virginia in 19, I cannot think of any other NCAA tournament game in what I would call modern history. We can go back. Tech lost to Boston College on a Michael Adams jumper in the early 80s, early mid 80s. That was the Bubba Jennings team and everything else. That was a gutting loss if you can remember all the way back. But for most people, you probably don't. That your 2 hardest losses in program history. Hey, one's in a national title game, one's in an Elite Eight game. Pretty good. Chris, look at Alabama last night. Hit like 43s on Thursday. Couldn't hit anything against Duke. I'm going to use David Collier, KMEC 28 sports director. His favorite term is regression. But not just regression, positive regression. But yeah, that was actual regression back to what you can do. And that gets us into the whole philosophy of volume threes and how that is working in the trickle-down effect that we've seen from Steph Curry and his impact on the NBA and the NBA down into the college ranks. There's a happy medium in there somewhere. For most of the day, I thought Texas Tech was really striking it yesterday, So there you go. Maybe you can make a plea to let Lent to call the Big 12 tournament with Hacks so we can win the thing. I think Lent and Hacks will be on the call. Hacks ain't busy no more. So I think you will absolutely get Jamie and Haxton. I mean, that's the crazy thing that I had forgotten at the beginning of the season that the Big 12 baseball tournament this year was single elimination, and I love that. Have wanted that for years because you can set up your pitching for the NCAA tournament 1, 2, 3, 4 if you're a team going to the tournament, but that all you got to do is go win about 4 games or so. That's not, I know that sounds crazy. That's not as hard as trying to get through the pool play and then get to anything else in a single title game. That's actually more doable. You can slug your way through this thing now. We'll see what happens. Maybe this week, Wet Penguin will join us again from the world of Twitter X at Ryan Hyatt Media and explain Wet Penguin name. Maybe we don't want to know. It's entirely possible we don't want to know. I do want to say again today, Zane Petty pitched his guts out and deserved a better fate, but so often it's baseball. I want to say again yesterday, and this was lost in the shuffle because most of it was going on while Tech was playing Florida in basketball. Jack Siebert has been really good in relief for you, and he really came on yesterday and gave you another great chance to get a win. You just couldn't do enough with the bats. So here we are, this maddening example of I see this component, I see that component. You got TJ Pompey back in the lineup doing some DH stuff this weekend. You're seeing some of the young guys like Coleman Ryan making some play. 2 bunts. The bunt that he had, the little pitching wedge, it was a lob wedge checkup shot there early. Good to see. Villeneuve, the home run early to get you going. Bravo, a couple of, I mean, you're not bereft of talent. But something crazy would have to happen. Baseball is built on crazy. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying baseball is built on crazy. But the path now in the regular season, it's just the math doesn't add up. I don't think you can go just not, lose, but 3 or 4 games and have that number there. Oh, okay. I see now. Saying dust it off, get back in the booth. I think that's the last time Tech won it. The only time Tech won it. Now if we do that, then really what you don't want me, you want Finkner. Get Mark in there. So the 1998 tournament, the improbable 1998 Big 12 championship, the first one at Bricktown Ballpark, where Tech used like 8 pitchers total going through the weekend. It was insane and crazy. So, yeah, now you want Finkner on that. Glad you mentioned that. It might be time to put Siebert back in the starting rotation. Maybe so. Maybe he's worked his way into being your Friday guy at this point. Open for anything, but he has pitched really well in relief. Chris, is it as simple as this team just can't recover from the poor start in non-conference? Well, the poor start in non-conference has now turned into a below average to poor start in Big 12 play. So really what you have now is 2 months in the book of poor baseball. So it's not so much recovering from that. I don't know. Maybe something happened to this team psychologically that it broke them in the early part of the season. Now, I'm not alleging that. I'm looking just like everybody else, to try to come up with some answers. And that maybe doubt crept into their minds. Maybe that they felt like, wow, we're not good enough. We're not as good as these teams. We played all these good teams and we keep getting beat. And baseball is a very mental game. It's incredibly mental. More than football, more than basketball. It's like golf. Baseball is just a between the ears kind of game. Maybe they lost something there, Chris. Maybe that, and Tadlock and crew didn't put together the schedule to get their heads beat in and then go, hey, look, we played all these good teams, we lost, let's go play. No, That's not what that was about. Maybe there's a little bit to that it just beats you down so much. I need to sneeze so bad. I'm sorry. I but I'll go back and say again, I think it's really hard when a lot of what Tim Tadlock does is mental, is culture, is clubhouse and everything else. And when that clubhouse is totally different and you don't have seniors and juniors and guys that have been around who can transmit that culture player to player, that's where most of it happened. I watched that Lady Raider basketball start in the late 80s all the way through the 90s into the mid 2000s, that it was the players who had been there that transmitted the culture. We saw that with Tech baseball, with Tim Tadlock up until fairly recently. I watched it with the Larry Hayes teams. That's how you do it. And now in this era of player portability that I do love and respect, and I'm all about NIL and I'm all about this stuff, but I also have to be realistic and say there are downsides to it that you have to figure out how to deal with. Just go out and get a bunch of robots and go out there and play. Chris, I still think it was worth playing the schedule over playing a bunch of Merrimacs. I agree 100%. I would not change anything about the schedule. I would not change anything about that. I hope that schedule next year is every bit as challenging. Maybe get a few more at home than the early in the early go and get some people. And that's going to be another discussion for Tech baseball. You're going to have to pony up some money for some midweeks and play and be able to either money whip teams in here, or you're just going to have to go play some good teams on the road and spend some money to fly into Tallahassee or fly into, wherever. Now, part of that, it takes two to tango. And remember, well, coming off this year, some teams may be going, hey, let's play Tech next year. But it takes two to tango. You can't just force your way onto somebody's schedule or force somebody to come to Lubbock, Texas. I agree with you. Yogi had it right. Oh, do we have any other? Have we gone final on everything yet? Arizona looks, well, I shouldn't say it looks like they're going to hold off Baylor. You never know what's going to happen in the ninth. And then Arizona State in control. I mean, that's going back to the totality of the Big 12. You want Arizona and Arizona State to be good. Good teams out west. Good teams in the Big 12. Oklahoma State, Tech, and TCU. They need to hold things together in this part of the country. And then, if you can get a few other teams around the country in the Big 12 playing some pretty good baseball, that's good. UCF ought to be better. UCF has the ability to play midweeks against really good competition. UCF should be a great RPI team in the Big 12. And they need to approach it that way. And when this season's over, I think the Big 12 coaches ought to get together and some administrators and say, all right, as a league, what are we doing here? Because a lot of the newcomers to the league, quite frankly, they just haven't invested. They don't do that much, and they just don't care. We do. We care. You guys need to be a total conference member and get on board with Big 12 baseball. So the guy who covers a team that's got a 80 RPI or whatever it is right now. All right, last chance to get your comments in, quotes in. I will have this on the website, theraiderland.com. You can share it from there. I want you to share everything we do with your friends on social media, whether it's Twitter or Facebook or whatever the case may be. Like our column today, 5 Things We Know on a Sunday. We're kind of all over the place today on the 5 things. You never know what we're going to talk about. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. And we always enjoy getting your feedback there on that. Chris, Houston ought to be better too. They should. They should be. In the Southwest Conference days, they were always a good program. A couple of times they were a almost great program, but not consistently. Not like Texas, not like Texas A&M, or even some of the Arkansas teams. Are we going back to Norm DeBrin in Arkansas? Houston should be better too. The baseball legends always had the best things to say about the game. We just don't have that anymore. Yeah, you don't see like great, crazy quotes out of Mike Trout. You don't get that a lot. Let's put that pressure on Josh Young. Josh, you need to become a quote machine. All right, just start saying crazy things. Rangers with the series win over the Bostons. The bullpen very nice over the last couple of games for the Rangers after the opening day meltdown there in the ninth. Mark coming in off the top. I figured this would be. I mean, here you are in like the last 2 minutes or so of the show, and he comes in off the top rope. I figured this would be early on. Should Tadlock change up his assistant coaches? Here's my answer to that right now. At the end of the season, I think everything will be reviewed. If I were the athletics director at Texas Tech, I would tell Tim Tadlock, you have carte blanche to make any decisions you want to with your staff, retain, change, or do anything you want to. But that you are a proven winner. You've done more in Texas Tech baseball, obviously, than anybody in the history of the program. You got skins on the wall, that I give you the latitude to tell you whatever you want to do, you do it. Do they need to make staff changes? Oh, no. I mean, this, for the most part, is the same staff that was getting you where you loved and getting you to Omaha and churning out Major League Baseball players and developing talent and identifying talent. So what's changed? It's a fair question. It's a great question. Now, I would step back from that, Mark, and I will tell you, any decision that Tim Tadlock makes regarding this program at the end of the year, I support 100%. Retain, change, do something different. He's earned that right. He's earned that right. The management of Major League Baseball makes it difficult to enjoy baseball. Major League Baseball hates baseball. Yeah, they hate baseball. They hate baseball. They hate baseball fans. Baseball's a great game. Major League Baseball, they hate it. It's not like these guys forgot how to coach. I agree. See, I figured that would be like one of the first questions, but we'll probably get it again tomorrow, and that's okay on the daily broadcast because we are coming to you tomorrow night live, 6:30. Be sure and follow us on all of our platforms, all right? All of our platforms. Ryan Hyatt Media, at Ryan Hyatt Media on Twitter X, Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland, the Facebook page. Well, we got like 1,700 subscribers on that, which is I don't know the difference always between subscribe, whatever, but we got thousands of people on there. And then the big thing is we're still trying to grow the YouTube thing. We got in late on YouTube around here. So we're still trying to grow the YouTube channel. You hit certain metrics on subscribers, and YouTube does different things and really puts stuff out there. So again, if you've not subscribed, you don't have to pay anything. You don't have to watch it. You don't have to do anything. Just go subscribe to it. And everybody on there, share it with your friends, hit like, and do all that stuff there on YouTube. All right. It's been a fun afternoon, even with the 5-4 loss. Hopefully everybody's had a great weekend, ready to get stuff going on Monday. Plenty of things to do coming up in the morning. So get your good, bad, and ugly recaps ready to go on the website. Get us a lot of questions, a lot of comments, and a lot of feedback there. All right, man. We'll be with you all week. Lots of stuff going on, no doubt about it. Glad you're there. Thanks for joining in. We want to thank our great sponsors, United Supermarkets tonight, McAlpin Chiropractic, the official chiropractor in Raiderland, and of course, Kyle Rogers, our realtor in Raiderland, Kyle Rogers at Remax Realty. Most of all, thanks to you guys for being there. Check out everything we do. Go comment on the column, 5 Things We Know on a Sunday at theraiderland.com.